second since I've been on my GSX, and it's quite a familiar and super nice place to be right now. Of course, I'm doing reverse shifting on this bike, and every time I jump on it, coming from my FZ-09, it takes a second for me to like remember that I'm shifting in the opposite direction. Anyhow, so today there's something I wanted to talk to you about, primarily because a few months ago Arizona actually passed a law where, you know, riders are now able to lane filter. I guess it's important to me to explain what that means. And essentially that means that we can go in between cars, but there are a few things that are, you know, important for you to know as a rider and as a driver as well, which is actually my main point. So essentially, if you are on a street like this one where you have 2 or more lanes and the vehicles are stopped, I'm allowed to lane filter like I'm going to do, actually not going to do right now because the car started moving. But anyway, hopefully I can show you in a second. If the cars are stopped, you are allowed to filter in between cars at a maximum speed of 15 miles per hour if the cars are stopped, like I just mentioned, and if you are on a lane or I guess on a direction in a street where you have 2 or more lanes. So if you only have 1, it's not possible. If you have 2, you can. In a place like the one I'm in right now, I should be able to if the cars are stopping or the conditions are met. I haven't been actively thinking about, hey, I can lane filter, you know, every time I'm on the street. So I think there's a little bit of a difference between here in California. I think actually when Arizona passed the law, that means that there are now 4 different states. I think there are 4 different states right now that are allowing for, you know, bikes to actually lane filter. I think Utah, California, Arizona, and there's another one if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, what I was saying is I've been riding the street very little lately, and the few times that I've done it, I actually lane filter once or twice. And if I'm honest with you, my biggest concern at the time was the fact that I'm not sure if drivers know about the law enough for them to understand that I'm not trying to break the law and having them look at me like, hey, what the heck are you doing? And people getting upset at me because of that. That shouldn't be my concern, but I think it's important for me to put this video out. And even though I'm pretty sure that Arizona is potentially not my biggest audience, I can probably help some people by the fact that, hey, maybe I can change your mind to be more conscious about what are the rules when it comes to motorcycles and cars in general, you know, in your area. In case you're wondering why the law exists, it's because supposedly in some other places it actually goes all the way back to motorcyclists being on bikes that were air-cooled, and when you are in between cars, your bike can actually overheat because there's no way, you know, everything is hot in between cars, so there's no chance for you to get some like fresh air as you will if you are in front of the line. Of course, there are other considerations. You're probably thinking, hey, there's a safety concern also, kind of driving the motivation of, you know, putting this law, but actually I don't think that's the main driver. I argue that it's safer for me to be in the front, just so I don't have cars in the back that I have to worry about that are potentially stopping, that are going to rear-end me, and that's for sure a consideration for me. And I mean, of course, it'll make it comfortable for you not having to be in between cars, especially in Arizona when the summer is so hot. It's a pretty cool thing just to be able to kind of lane filter, being at the front and being able to be the first one to, you know, be on the go, especially when you have no AC and you're just like cooking inside of your gear in the middle of 120 degrees. So, you know, I mean, overall, I would love to know, you know, what is your experience? You know, do you feel comfortable doing it? Do you wait for you know, the law to become like more widespread before you start using it, so that maybe you're giving a chance to drivers, you know, to understand, you know, what that means? I feel like I actually saw, and I'm going to share with you some screenshots of like some specific departments of like police in I think it was like, I don't know, on Scottsdale, Arizona. And on Twitter they actually put a couple like messages about, you know, what to expect and what the law means, which is great because, you know, people that are subscribed to their channel can see it, and not everybody has to be a biker. But, you know, I'm a father, and I have a very recent new driver, you know, at my house, and I want to make sure that she knows the law in order for, you know, her to protect other people, you know, especially coming from me being a biker. But you know, just something important that I hope that people get to, you know, see and learn about, so they're not ignorant and they can, you know, understand the law and whatnot. So all right, so this is the part where I'm going to tell you what I think. Couple things that I just, you know, jump out of me. If you are not comfortable doing it, don't feel like you have to. Just because there's a law, or there's a law allowing you to filter through cars. There's people that might not feel comfortable just, you know, swerving between cars. Secondly, be aware of, you know, how wide your motorcycle is. Are you riding with, you know, saddlebags? Do you have a box? Do you think when you swerve, if your bike top heavy and maybe you're going to be doing maneuvers at a low speed that you might not be able to recover? So those type of things are things that you might want to think. Another thing that comes to mind is how wide your motorcycle is, which I just mentioned. Do you have a longer handlebar? Do you have mirrors on the end like this one's? Like on my FZ-09, I have full mirrors, and they actually fall super easy, and I don't even have to be looking in order for me to, you know, be able to adjust them and whatnot. So that'll be a perfect, you know, opportunity for me to, you know, hide them and then bring them out when I'm done, you know, passing cars. But if that's not you, or you don't have the flexibility to do that, maybe just keep that in mind. And I guess my last comment is, man, I have a loud exhaust. I don't do it just for I mean, it's not super loud, but it's, you know, louder than maybe other exhaust. I don't do it because I think it's gonna keep me safe. I do it just because I like the way it sounds. But just don't be that guy that you have to be announcing yourself like I'm coming through by just blasting on your exhaust, by revving the head out of your motor. So I mean, don't be that guy. If you have to do that, man, nobody wants to be next to you, and you're actually, you know, not doing a good job for all of us here that are trying to be respectful and drive or ride between the limits and try to, you know, be safe in our own cars. So just don't be that guy. And I think, I mean, if I think about it, at the end of the day, like I just mentioned, it's amazing that we have the opportunity to do this, but I don't want you to feel like you have to do it every time just to take advantage, because this is not something that's going to be running out. It's going to be here forever, at least until the law, you know, is active. What's funny, I haven't had an opportunity to lane filter today. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I think, you know, in my specific case, I feel, you know, comfortable. I feel comfortable, but more than comfortable, it's more about, I hate stopping in between cars, or stopping and being the last car on the line, because I have to constantly be taking my eyes from the front of my bike to be looking at my mirrors to see if someone else is stopping, so I know what to do or react if the person behind me doesn't see me. So, you know, so that ability to be able to be at the front and be the first one to be crossing, it's what I like about the law. But on the flip side, being on the first one, which is not different to be the first car on the line, okay, I get it. It comes with other considerations, such as if you're the first one on the line, then that means that you are going to be the first one that has to be watching out for anybody running a light. So no different than this example right now when I'm in the front of the lane, so I still have to watch out for that. But I guess what I'm trying to say is you're going to be putting yourself in that situation every time if you find yourself in a place where all the criteria are met and you can lane filter. So just something for you to watch out. Oh yeah, I can filter here. Let's do it. I'm pretty sure that people who don't know what the heck I'm doing are thinking this is illegal. Drivers, it's your responsibility to know the law. Alright, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope, please share it if you can think of anyone who can, you know, benefit from knowing about the law. And just be safe. I hope that you guys had an amazing time on Thanksgiving. And if you have any questions about this video or any comments or anything, just feel free. I love to engage with you in the comments, so just leave a comment. And thank you again for, you know, watching the videos. It really means a lot to me. Having an amazing day.